Появился человек, появился английский, лучше по-английски.
Okay.
Если...
Okay, fine. That's just fine. So what I'm starting to say, is that the dynamic systems is a field of which is a continuous classical mathematics of 19th century in 20th century. And one of the most famous summits of this is what is called Kolmogorov theory, count theory. But this course is not about the dynamic systems in the classical sense, but about what's called symbolic dynamics. What is symbolic dynamics? It was actually a branch of classical dynamical systems, and it was discovered by Hedlund and Morse. Hedlund is known, first of all, because of his works in symbolic dynamics, but Morse is a classical writer, mathematician in dynamical systems. And so the observation actually is very simple. If we start with real world process, which is, of course, described by a dynamical system, then we can measure states of its parameters in discrete moments of time, no other way to do it, and by a discrete scale. You cannot measure anything in the real world with infinite accuracy. So it's a kind of multi-digit number. We have what is called now symbolic trajectory, which is again a sequence, discrete sequence, not continuous sequence process, infinite in some discrete sequence of time, 1 second or microsecond or nanosecond or whatever, of again a discrete variable, again with accuracy, say 2 digits, 6 digits, 10 digits, perhaps not 100. You can never measure it to 100. And so this is a symbolic trajectory. What is interesting, in fact, that this symbolic trajectory, even for an arbitrary, with some very, very weak requirements, like compactness of, fields, in fact, has a very interesting record. Means if something happens with these dynamic systems, say, at some moment or infinite many moments, it will regularly appear again. The behavior of this dynamic system in symbolic sense will not be periodic, but which will be recurring. Recurring means that for some time we'll have the same situation again and again. It's a very simple and this primary basic consideration of Hedlund and Morse. And you hear much more interesting things about the symbolic dynamical systems appearing in anything like biology or automata theory or logic or whatever in our course here. So that's my introduction and that postgraduate postdoc student of Kanel Belov really took part as a major lecturer in our course. So thank you, Mehdi, and thank you all the participants and who will join the course in its process and have recorded all our lectures. And the most important thing of the lectures, I believe, will be more and more open problems, questions to solve, to make something more precise and exact and whatever. Also, a computer simulations. Interesting results, for example, were recently obtained in this outer billiards by a student of Alexei Belov, Philippe, and so we expect to hear something about this as well. So thank you very much.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much for your talk. Okay, you know, it's a majority of students, they want to teaching as a recording styles. That's why some people, they have some incidents with other courses for them. That's why they didn't attend it today. So I don't know. I will it for me. It's also is more convenient recording and put in the YouTube channel or in Mehmet or Fifth or other parts in Telegram channel. But
And let me
yeah.
let me say, I sent some link about Torment of Town conference and write some problem sets about all of these issues and some problems which can be solved. Let me.
I will put them in the Telegram channel because later after
Yeah.
the
I will put them in the Telegram channel, but we also to send it to. I want to make some link to some problem to some about some review and some of my vision of all of this. Let me send the link. Let me say. Let me say some vision. 1 second. Okay. Let me provide a link. First of all, I will say I'm sending the link on the some vision, and I want also to discuss some research. This is about some vision, but of course we want to discuss some problems which can they may be if somebody solve, we can provide with publications and we shall provide with some guides and so on. Just send the problems. Right now we are on some meeting in the conference and the by Nehdi.
Yeah, I will put the record video in the Telegram.
Yeah.
It is more convenient. Today I will do it this night. I will put in the
Some
Telegram
sets
channel.
of dynamics. I will send it, but let's look what happens.
Yeah, it's
So
anybody has any question or not?
Or maybe not now, maybe later.
Because I record the lecture, I will put in the in the Telegram channel after at 8 or 9 p.m. something like that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So fine. Yeah. So you can start.
I will also put some files in the Telegram channel. Do you want to I right now I start it or I put as an offline platform? It doesn't matter. It's up to you.
You start right now. Yeah.
Okay, just a moment. I will come back to you after 2 minutes. Just a moment.
Okay, you can start now.
Yeah.
Okay, you can start. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, first of all, I will introduce a little bit what is our plan exactly. It's approximately we have 15 lecture or 16 lectures. 4 lectures is Ivan will give for us and others with me. And we have some seminar, but as I told you, the only our class today it's online. Others will be offline. I mean, I recording and putting video in the Telegram because it's more convenient. And if you have any question, you can write for me by email, and then I will be a reply to you. Anyway, let's see. I will first of all explain for you what you want to do that. Actually, symbolic dynamic it has many connection with other parts of mathematics in computer science and pure mathematics and also applied mathematics. I will put in course outline and course description also in the Telegram channel. Also, I think it is available in Mehmet department of the logic and algorithm, and also department of fifth in FISTEC. You can. It's here I mention an interesting example, but we will study this book. It is. I will send you the new version of this book. It is published last 2 months. It's Dynamics and Code. It's written by Douglas Lynn and Brian Marcus. It is very interesting book, and it has many connection with combinatorics and number theory. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any materials related to billiard, but we have some lectures. We had some lectures about the author billiard. Philip Rochowicz gave them. If anybody likes to watch them, I can send for him or her. Anyway, what is our plan? Main plan we will try to finish. We hope 5 or if we finish a 5 chapter, it's fine. But if we could finish a 6 chapter, it would be wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, it is the content of our talk, and about the course description and how you can give mark actually, and we discuss about rather 18 theorems, but it's again it's depend what's going on in the future. For example, this theorem, it would be interesting problem, but I don't know we can discuss about that or not. Maybe we can design one project related to this, because it has many connection to some open problems. If you can search in the internet, it's one issue I wanted to talk with you. And this I mentioned here some other references. It is that book. It's written 2021. It's very new. It's second, actually it is second edition. First edition is was 1995. And this book is the taste of this book is related to discrete mathematics and computer science. But these books, we are not following these books, but I mentioned here maybe some people they are also interested to look at some other cases of the symbolic dynamics. It's related to some topological concept and mathematical analysis. And these books, it's that book Alexei Yakovich mentions, it's inverse problem of symbolic dynamics. And about the great policy, actually I don't know who wants to take officially takes this course, but either way we will focus on some assignment, not like home task. I mean some simple problem you can, based on the course, you can solve it, and some projects, and you can continue and publish some paper, at least some review paper, not very strong paper. It's you learn how you can do the research. Another things I wanted to talk before I start some of things related to lecture with you. Just a moment. The online class AMS codes. I don't know who is familiar with these things. It's AMS mathematical subject classification. This course is related to not very basic or introduction course, is directly related to research. It's we can consider as a research course. That's why I explain such these things, because it's very important, you know, during of your research such these materials. If you open the MathSciNet AMS.org, or you can write in the Google AMS mathematical classification subjects. It's depend. It's they renew of that AMS 2020, but right now majority mathematician they use AMS 2010. And what I want to explain for you, if you open some paper, for example, you maybe you have seen some codes. It's written mathematical subject classification. If, for example, dynamics. Okay, if you write here, and actually this course has its own main codes in AMS. If you see in future some paper and it's written this code 37B10, is related to symbolic dynamics. And if you want to write one paper related to symbolic dynamics, you need to write this code in your paper. Also, it doesn't matter if you also put this code. Maybe you don't know what is this code, you can put this code here and do it. It's bring for you symbolic dynamics. Okay. Or for example, you want to say search other courses related to some symbolic dynamics. Yeah, for example, combinatorics of both, also it has own codes. It's 68 or 15. If you see some in some paper or some books, instead of written combinatorics on board written discourse, it means it's in this paper or this book or this scientific jobs is related to combinatorics of board. By the way, if I explain more for you, you need to care these things very carefully for your future, because right now you want to start your research, because if you are not exactly you will not write the code, and you will not select best code when you want to submit your paper to some actually some editor chief or in the some journal. First of all, he will see this code and will send to best person related to an expert person to refer your papers and your article. So that's why it's very important you know such these things. And this, but in this code has own meaning. Actually, for example, 68 is, if you put here, it means if you see any codes is started by 68, it means computer science is related to some mathematical part. You can see other things here. For example, discrete mathematics in relation to computer science, artificial intelligence, discourse, and so on. So this main part of our jobs is it's related to actually symbolic dynamics. You should know it has discourse, also some combinatorics on words and ergodic theory. Another things I want to tell you before I start my jobs, this course it has too much connection with combinatorics and words. It's some of our lectures, because actually I don't want to talk too much about some basic things and introductory things. I will share to you by email. You can use in this lecture slides is related to combinatorics on word with Professor Semenov and Alex Yakovich last 2 semesters. I mean fall 2020. I will send for you it here is available some slides. You can use them. Is some motivation example, some introductory example. What is a word? What is a symbolic dynamics? Actually, complexity of word, H2-man words, and here just a moment. For example, some connection with algebraic number theory has available here. Also some research problem here is available. You can think about it and extend it on generalization, and we can discuss together. And others, what I want to say to you, just a moment. Also some connection related to theories, but this part is not works for us in during of work. It's better you review this this lecture 0 and 1. It's related to what is a word, what is a language, and some example, and also this lecture and this lecture. Also, this lecture would be interesting maybe for you, discrete geometry related to words. I mean, it's some connection related to Christopher words and some interesting topics. I will send for you, don't worry. And another parts, if you know that it's very good, is related to billiard, mathematical billiard related to words. We will not teach them, but I will share this slide is related to, it has some connection. If you don't know, it doesn't matter, but if you know that and review a little bit about the definition, it is very good for you. If you don't have any question, I will go to my jobs a little bit. I will talk about symbolic dynamics for you. Do you have any question? Okay. Just a moment. Let me go to my board. I don't want to waste your time.